Hello YouTube. Today we're going to go through doing some additional configuration to the dev tooling that we installed in the last video. So in the last video, we installed VS Code, Node and NPM from the Node source repository, and we installed Go via downloading the actual binaries and then manually installing them to a specific path on the machine, which is I can't remember the path right now, but we'll see it just in a second. But there's some additional configuration that we need to do afterwards and before we do any dev. And part of that is we're going to be editing some dot files, specifically the bash RC and the npmrc. And this is mainly to demonstrate how to set up additional paths and how to sort of like add extra dot files. And what we're going to do to demonstrate that is we're going to first install some tooling and show you basically how get bash to know where that tooling is, because it's not part of the sort of like the core Debian system. So bash kind of just doesn't know where this stuff is. So what we're going to do first is we're going to install a program that's very useful if you're developing a Go. It's called staticcheck, and what it's a linter, and it'll find a load of errors with your program. And some will be more serious than others, but it's a great tool nonetheless. So to install it, what we do is I've just got the get started section up here. We're just going to use the basic install instructions. There's other ways to install it, but this is how we're going to install it here. So we're going to copy that, and then we're going to go. And all this does is tell Go to install this package. So if we do that, it will download and build the package, which it has done. And we can verify that by going to a home directory, go/bin. You see that static check is there. So if we do static check, it doesn't do anything, but if we do big H, it will print out the help page. And Go will print out any flags. Program sort of like, it's like argparse in Python. It'll basically print out all the flags that the program supports if you add -H. You can see that static check is there and working. However, if I'm outside this directory, so if I go back to my home directory, start and just run that again, it doesn't know where static check is, and that's because I was running it relative to the go/bin. Now you could do this, I suppose. Go bin static check. But that's a bit of palaver. You don't want to be having to be doing that. So what we need to do is add static check. Add that go/bin to our path. So bash will look there for any programs. So we're adding an additional path. And to do that, we need to edit the bash RC. Now the bash RC effectively gets run every time you open one of these terminals. And we can verify that by what we're going to do. We're just going to edit the bash RC now. With nano. We're going to go right to the end of the file, and we're going to do an echo. There we go. And if we open up a new tab, you will see that's our text that we just told the script to echo right at the end of the script's execution. So what we're going to do, we're going to remove that because we don't want that printed every time. We go back to the end, we'll just delete this. And what we want to do is we want to add the additional path. So to do that, firstly, I'm just going to get rid of this export because it's not necessary. I'm not sure why it's in the Go instructions. Maybe it might be necessary for other shells. I'm not sure. I only care about using bash. The reason for I always use bash is because almost every Linux will have bash as the default. I can't think of, or it will have it installed. And it also you get bash with git on Windows when you install git, so you get git bash. So you've got bash there, and you can configure bash to be your command line shell in Mac OS. So we're going to add that Go bin path, and to do that, we just go. We say, hey, the path. So what this does is path is equal to the current path, and then we do home. No, it's just home. Now you need to put home. You can't put tilde. It needs to be home, otherwise it doesn't work. And then go /bin. And then what we'll do, we'll save that, and we do yes. Now, it's a bit tedious to have to open a command line window to test out any changes. So you can tell it to essentially rerun the bash RC again by using the source command. So we just do source /.bash RC. Now, if we do static check, you can see when we start typing, it's auto-completed. So static check is now in our path. So if we want to use it, we don't have to put in the full path to static check. Bash will go list for our paths, and it will find that. We can go and verify that via echoing out the path variable. And you can see there, home jankware /go/bin. So that is added on correctly. And we also kind of know that because static check works correctly. So that is the Go bin path set up correctly. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some additional, we have to do some additional config to npm. And we're going to do that by installing a global package. Now, global packages in when you're using Node and npm are usually for programs such as the AWS CLI, React Create App, and the Angular CLI, and probably a few others I've forgotten about. And these are usually like task runners that you use for development, or like just even programs that run in Node, and you may want to install them quote unquote globally. However, the way it's set up as default is that it tries to install the package sort of like globally, so outside of your user. So this will try to install it into what I consider part of the system. And you don't want to do that, because what it will end up doing, it will start polluting the rest of the Debian system. And it's something Debian doesn't know how to basically how to handle npm packages. Debian handles the package installation through the Debian tooling, which is app, dpackage, etc. So to do that, so to make sure that we don't pollute the system with npm packages, what you do is you basically tell it to install the npm packages locally. Sorry, in your home directory. So that'd be sort of like local to your. This would be relative to your home directory, essentially. That's what I kind of meant by local. Kind of misspoke. Oh well. So to do this, we need to sort of like understand what npm needs, and it needs a file creating called the npmrc. And what we're going to do, we're going to install that. But before we install, create that. Before we install, create that, what we're going to do is we're going to do the npm prefix. So we do npm prefix -g. You can see that it's in USR. Now, if we don't set the prefix, we don't set this prefix for the global packages to be in our home users directory, what will happen is we get a permissions error. I'm going to demonstrate that now. So Angular CLI, there's a lot of additional tooling with Angular, and it gives you the ng command. And Angular itself is quite a big beast. There's a lot of additional commands and helpers that you want to install when using it, typically. So if we copy this, we try to install it. So what this is saying is npm install the Angular CLI globally. So it's, I don't want to get too much into that, because basically, if you have a repay for a particular web project, typically if it's Node, it's a web project. You have a package.json in your web project. And what the npm prefix will do is whenever you type npm install, it will find the nearest package.json it can find. And that will basically how it knows where to install the packages, how you can change that via the prefix. And there's also this global prefix. What we're going to do is we're going to run this command. And we should get a permissions error. And we do, because it's trying to install it in the /usr, and my user doesn't have permissions just to go willy-nilly creating bits and pieces. So quite rightly he said, no, you can't install the stuff, and it's logged it somewhere. So one of the things it suggests is running the command as a root administrator. We don't want to do that because we'll pollute the system. So what we want to do is set the prefix. So to do that, we create a new file called npmrc. And in that, we set the prefix. So if we do nano npmrc, and we do prefix equals, and I have to get this right because I've got this wrong in the past, and it's installed it in interesting places. npm packages. Now, if we do prefix, we run the prefix command again, you can see that is now in our home directory. So that's /home jankware /.npm packages. So this will go and put that Angular CLI package into that directory. Now we just rerun the Angular installation, and now this will work correctly. And there we go. So if we go to our npm packages directory, and you see we go to bin, there's ng. So again, ng command not found. So we kind of want any commands we put in here, we need to tell bash about where to find ng. So if we want to do ng new project name, we can't do that. So we're going to add the path in again. So we're just going to edit the bash RC again. But go down to the bottom. We're going to go equals path home, and it was npm packages .bin, I think. So we can just confirm that about exiting. Yeah, npm dash packages .bin npm dash packages .bin, I should say. Go there, and then we refresh the bash RC, and then if we do ng, it's there. So let's try ng new project name. So let's just go to home, ng new test Angular project that'll do. Now it's asking us, would you like to enable auto-completion? This will set your terminal, so pressing tab or typing Angular CLI commands will show possible options or autocomplete arguments. That sounds like something we may want. Would you like to share the CD analysis? No, I don't want to share those stats with you. And this is a standard sort of like scaffold for Angular, so we'll just go no on that. And we can see that the ng command is working properly. And we're just going to review what this did here. So restart your terminal, run the following autocomplete ng command. Okay. So this will install some npm packages, and Angular's a bit of a beast, so this might take a while. Oh, cool. Right, so we don't have Git installed yet. We'll do that in a minute. So what it's done, it's created us an initial branch, and it's called a master. And if we do ls, and we go into test Angular project, now we don't have Git installed. So we know how to install stuff. So we can just go sudo apt install. It's clear the screen, make it a bit easier. A little bit up. Install Git. And oh, cool. We already have it. So the Git status in here. Oh, sorry, Git status. It will tell us we're on branch master. So this all looks like it's worked correctly. I don't want to go into Angular because it's a whole other kettle of fish. So if we go back to our home directory and we do nano.bashrc, it said it's going to add some entries to our bashrc. So if we go back to the end, it's got this Angular completion script. I sometimes disable this because this is actually very slow. However, we can leave it in there for now. I think it's okay. Now, the auto completion isn't taking effect because we haven't updated the terminal. So if we do source.bashrc ng, and then we've got the auto completion in there by the looks of it. Yeah. So we just set up the ng command with Angular. We've set up the paths so any sort of like task runners or scripts that we want to install globally via npm, Bash will now pick those up, and we can then use those on the command line, just like we did with staticcheck. Exactly the same. So we just review quick before we carry on, because sometimes I think I'll go a little bit too fast. What we've done is we said, hey, we've basically, again, we said the path is equal to the current path plus the home directory .npm packages bin. So what it's done is it appended that path onto the existing path. So each time we just append to the path. We're not doing anything crazy. We just exit that. We just close that. We don't need the additional terminal. I just wanted to use that to check. And we do echo path. You can see the npm packages.bin path is now in there. And now we've got npm set up, essentially. You can do some other setup, but this is usually good enough, at least for my purposes. So what would be nice is we can go and get Bash to print the branch of the. So when we're in the Git repository, it'd be nice if we could get Git to actually print the path, and it's something. Print the branch that you're currently in your Git repo. So if we go git test Angular project, so to print the branch, you can do git status. So on branch master, you can do git branch. I think, yeah. Say, hey, you're on the master branch. I would like it to be in my prompt here. This is, as I said, this is the PS1 prompt. So you can set that up. And there's some Git additional completion. What we're going to do, we're going to basically just set this up as it explains. So this script allows you to see the repository status in your prompt. To enable, copy this file somewhere easy, e.g. git-prompt. So we're going to click on raw, well, control click raw, and I'm just going to do save as, and yeah, put .git prompt save. Done. So if we go to actually we'll open up another tab here, and we've got the git prompt there. Verify that by just going ls -al. This ls -al basically just shows us everything. A bit more complicated than that, but it shows us pretty much all the information you could want to have in a directory listing. So if you do git prompt, and we see the git prompt there, that's great. We know it's there. And if we continue reading, add the following line to your bash rc.z shell rc or .profile git prompt sh. So we're going to do that. So we're just going to do nano bash rc, go to the end again. Probably just do it before the Angular auto completion. We're just going to add that in there. We're going to, got to do some things. So step 3, change your PS1 call to __ get _ PS1 as the command substitution. So what we need to do is we can kind of already do that. So where is it in here? Forget. So this /rc is already sort of like providing you from by Debian. Now, Debian already sets a PS1 for you here. So what this does is basically checks whether there's color in your prompt, and then basically adds these colors. If not, it just doesn't add. So these command line, these command characters here, they specify the color. So you see, so if we go to this one, see that's green. I think that is green, if I remember correctly. Yeah, that'd be green. And then I'm guessing that would be blue. I forget what the command color code is. It's not massively important. Okay, fine, whatever. There's some additional PS1 setup here. I'll get, for this purpose of this video, I'm going to cheat, and I'm going to straight up copy that. I think, yeah, copy, go down to the bottom, under here. Right, and then come over here, put that git PS1. So we need I think we need this bit. All right. I'm not very good with nano. I should be using Vim. Oops. Yeah, I know what I did it wrong last time. Just need that there, I think. Should make it easy for myself and edit this in VS Code. We source that. Oops. Yeah, and then if we go to that test, see now we got the branch shown, which is exactly what we wanted to do. However, it does have I've added an extra bits and pieces. I've added an extra space in there, so let's go remove that because it's going to annoy me. No, fix that. That's fine. And that. There we go. Perfect. So now it shows our Git branch. I really like this because I wouldn't always know what branch I'm in. I don't care about the rest of this, so we're not going to read. This is like an alternative way of setting it. I'm not interested in that, so we're just going to leave that. All that, and then the last thing we're going to do, we're going to install Ansible. And the reason for this is you have to do some additional configuration for Python on Debian. And I think most distros now, it used to be a little bit different. So we're going to go back to here. Go back to the root, and we're going to try to install Ansible using Pip. So first we're going to check whether Pip is available. And so these are the installing Ansible with Pip instructions I sort of began with. And we don't have Pip, and we can install that via app. So if we do app, we don't need a sudo. Search Pip, force a habit, putting a sudo on the front. I think it's Python Pip and free Pip. Yeah, there we go. Python free Pip. So we do sudo apt install. Yeah. So we install Pip. Now, if we check it in short installed, it should say pip 23, which is exactly what we wanted. It's good. And then we install Ansible via pip, and it will give us an error. This is, and basically, we're just going to read this. I don't care about this. I'm not installing this system wide. I'm installing it as a user. I'm not sure why it does this. I'm not like an expert in Python. So what it says, this environment is externally managed. To install Python package system wide, try apt install Python 3 XYZ, where XYZ is the package you're trying to install. If you wish to install a non-Debian package, Python package, create a virtual environment using Python 3. That's basically set up something called a virtual env. I don't really want to do that. I don't want to do either of these. This is not particularly helpful. If you believe this is a mistake, yes, I do. Please contact the Python installation or OS distribution provider. You can override this at the risk of breaking your Python installation or OS by passing break system packages. Now, I don't want to have to pass that every time because it's a bit annoying. And you can set an environment variable called break system packages. And yeah, so it's called pip break system packages. So I'm pretty sure if we go to I don't want to use pipx because I haven't used it before. All of these are not the source I want, but I do know what it is. So I've done it before. But what we're going to do, we're going to set an environment variable called break system packages. So what we do is we export this environment variable. So what this will do is it will basically tell it to override that warning. Do yes. These other solutions may work, but I want to do it all from bash RC and environment variables, because then everything's in the bash RC. I wonder if it's in there. Oh, here we go. Set this environment variable in your shell, for example, with bash, or write in your Docker file. Reference. Here's the reference. So then, yeah, this is not the original Python reference. So who this guy is, I'm not sure. Anyway, we do source. Oh, I can't type today. Bash RC. And we try, just clear that. And we try to install Ansible again. It works. However, it's given us a warning here about, again, Ansible not being in our path. Yeah, so that's fine. Oh, sometimes kind of get stuck and you have to press enter. So let's just read what the warning says. It says the scripts Ansible, Ansible config, Ansible console, Ansible doc, Ansible Galaxy, and Ansible infantry, and a load of other Ansible scripts are installed in home jankware.local/bin, which is not in your path. Considering this, adding this directory to path, or if you prefer to press this warning, use no warn script location. Now, we do want to have this, because if we want to install any other Python scripts via pip using this user flag, we want them to be the bash to be able to find them. So what we're going to do is we're going to add this path, and it's the same process again. So I'm actually just going to go here, and it's, what is it, .local.bin. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go nano.bashrc. We're going to go down to the bottom. Well, we're going to go back to here, and same process again. So we do path, $path, home, and properly. There we go. So .local.bin. So if we do that, yep, and we source the bash RC again, RC, do the echo $path. In fact, we'll just echo up out here. You can see home jankware.local/bin. Now, I'm going to, this looks like it's broken, but it's not. It's because I've resourced the bash RC a bunch of times. So if we add this, we do echo path. Yeah, so every time I was resourcing it, what it was doing was essentially kept on appending to the path. There's probably an easy way to fix that, but I'm not too worried about it at the moment. Because typically you only run this once or twice when this only gets run when you open a new terminal, and you don't change it that often. So if we type Ansible now, it's there. So Ansible is there. So Ansible is now installed. And in the next video, we're going to go through how to manage some of those dot files we created. So we've got the bash RC. Well, we didn't create it, but we did add to it the .npmrc, because there might be more configuration that you do in there, but typically not. And the .git-prompt, I actually put that into source control, and I'm going to show you how to manage that easily with Git. So hopefully you'll be, I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.